Thank you very much. Welcome to this channel once again. I am Felix Bliss. Today I'm going to show you how to create this Instagram post design. So without much ado, let's start to create something. So the first thing we are going to do right now is we are going to create our solid layer. So I'll go to this side and choose solid color. So I'll go for this orange color. Then I'll go to pen tool, create a point here, go more than half, at least 55. Yeah, I'm using this dimension here, 55. Okay, create another one here. Then come to something like 40 or 35 is quite okay. That is the dimension here. Okay, 35. I'll create another one there. Then I'll go to the pen tool, go to curvature pen tool. Okay, place it somewhere here, 25 from the ruler. Then pull this one out like this. Okay, then pulling it out, I have to go to the top like this. Then come to this side somewhere like 70, put this one in so that you get this S shape here. You will control that later. Okay, you will control it. So let's come here and do some adjustment to our curve. Doesn't need to go out too much. Okay, so we have something like this. Okay, so now let's make a copy of this shape. Press Ctrl T, then flip it vertical so that we get this. Okay, then flip it horizontal like this. So we are going to move this one to this side. Now let's stretch this one small. So from here, let's change this color because it's quite confusing here. So let's change this color to something like black here, so that will take away that confusion. Then from here, go for the pen tool again, the curvature pen tool. Then let's pull this one. Sorry, you already have the point here. Okay, so hold the control key so that you, and then click on this one to see the point. Then use the curvature tool to adjust the point. Okay, so you will close this one here like this, and then bring this one out like this. Okay, let's do same for the top here. This one here, put this one in. Okay, like this. So now we are almost done with a design. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to import the image. Okay, so I'll go here and import this image. So I'll import this image like this. So I'll right click on this and choose create clipping mask so that we have something like this. Good. Now let's come back to our first layer, the white layer, then add some patterns to it. Okay, so we can just make a copy of that shape. Okay, press U for the properties of the shape. Then let's go here and add a pattern. So I'll look for pattern. This one is the pattern, and I'm going to look for legacy and look for this web pattern. So I need this one, so I'll fill it with this pattern. Okay, reduce the opacity of the pattern so that it doesn't take over the whole work. So 15, something like this. Okay, good. So we have this pattern. Now we are going to create another shape again. So I'll go to this side and choose ellipse tool. Then I'm going to create this elliptical shape here. Then I will set the opacity to something like, oh, let me bring it down. So I will set the opacity to 20. Now what I will do next is I will just make a copy of this particular shape that we just created. Ctrl J. Then I will drag it down. So from here, I'm going to create another shape. This round rectangular shape, I'll create another one here. Then from here I'll go to properties, and then I'll curve it to 30%, 30 pixels by 30 pixels, something like this. Let me group this one. So we are going for the tests. So the first test will come. I've already typed them, so I'm going to copy it. Change the type again to regular. I'll set the tracking to -25, or better still -50. Then I'll reduce the interval. From here, I'll just make a copy of this same text. Then I'll drag it down here. Come around, I'm going to change the old text. Good. So I'll set the color for this text to the orange color. Then I'll bring this one down. So I'm going to reduce the size more. Sorry, maintain the size of it, but we have something like this. So from here, I'm going to add some text here, which is a paragraph text. Okay, so you just need to write something here. So anything that you can write. So here you can just replace it with any text. Okay, you can just replace it with any text. I'll set the color to black. Now from here we just need to add another patterns here, but instead of using pattern, I'm going to use this particular text. Okay, I just type on, then I will select everything again here. Then I'm going to reduce the spacing that we have something like this. Then I will set the color to this color. That the spacing is too much for me, so I can still go to properties and then set the spacing to maybe 2. Okay, so now let's transform this one. All right, let's bring it somewhere here. Then let's stretch on this color. So from here I'm going to add the rest of the text. Okay, so let's just make a copy of this one. Ctrl J, bring this text here and come to my text, that is today. Control. Let's select everything and paste that. Okay, now let us reduce the size for this one. Bring this one somewhere here. So let me come back to this one and change it to italic. Okay, so we have something like this. Then I will come here, select the font, and I'll make a copy of this font text. Okay, so this one is 50%. I can type that one instead of going to copy that. Then let's make a copy of the today. Bring it down here and replace it with off. Now then make a copy of this text. Ctrl J. Then bring it down here. This time around, let's change the color to black. Let's make a copy of this text and bring it down here. This time around, we can copy this other now. Ctrl V, Ctrl plus, or let's set the size to 10. 10 is too big. Let's change the color to white. The size is too big again for me, so I'll change it to 6. Good. Then I'll change this one to bold. And let me bring it to the center. So from here, let's make a copy of this text again and bring that one here. Set the color to black. Copy this whole website. Then paste it here. Let's select everything again. Change it to regular. Let's set the size to 5. Confirm that. So now this is the very simple way you can create this particular design. It's very easy. If you want the color to pop up, you can add your vibrance and then your contrast. So I'll add contrast to it. I'll add contrast so that the color pops out. And look at something here before the contrast. Look at this is then after the contrast, and see a lot of difference there. Okay, you can also add this vibrance, very small one. So this is a very simple way you can create this design in Photoshop. I hope you have learned something from me, and I want you to do one thing. Just click on the subscribe button, like our videos, comment, and let me see you in our next video as well. My name is Felix Blaze. Bye bye.